Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Joce Curious, where I don't care where you are or where you came from. If you have a talent, I want to talk to you. My name is Jocelyn Flynn, and I'm Joce Curious. Originally from Tampa, Florida, Lex Tobyn is a 27-year-old singer-songwriter based in Chicago, Illinois. Known for her vibrant hair and electric personality, Lex has had a passion for music since she was a little girl. Her songs are currently on all platforms. She will be linked in my description below, so please go check her out. Without further ado, let's hear from Lex.
Yay! Hello!
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm literally so excited. I'm so happy that you're doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you asking. I'm so excited. This is my first music related interview, so I'm really excited for it. I feel like this is like a hallmark point for me.
You were definitely the first, yeah, you were probably the first person I thought of when I was wanting to do the show. I was like, I have to ask Lex.
I'm honored. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I love talking about myself, so this works.
Perfect, girl, perfect. I'm just gonna jump right into it. But first, how are you? How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Doing good. I've been living with family for the last few years, so I am actually moving out next week. So that's been kind of overwhelming, which is why things have been slow moving with some music stuff. But yeah, moving out, just living life, honestly. Just every day is just one day at a time at this point. So
All right, so we're just gonna jump right into it. So, you just told me what's going on in your life, so I can throw that one out. All right. So you relocated from Tampa to Chicago not that long ago, a couple years ago. How has that change been for you? Was it hard for you to adapt?
I had been visiting my family up here since I was like 15 is when my grandfather had married someone up here and we had, gotten really close to her family. So it wasn't crazy. I think I had visited when I was 15 for the first time and I was like, I'm moving up there one day. I fell in love with Chicago. And while I live north suburbs, I don't technically live in the city. I'm, an hour away if there's traffic, 30 minutes if not. So it's been really fun. It was a hard adjustment to leaving my hometown and I was born and raised in Tampa. So I think the hardest part was trying to find friends and trying to find a community. And it took a couple of years in order for that to happen. But through all of that is where I met all of my friends that are in music. And I have half of my friend group at this point are musicians of some sort. And so half the time when we're all getting together just to create, it's for fun. And then we end up having a song out of it. And so that was kind of where a lot of music ended up coming from for me because I don't have the best guitar playing skills and I don't know how to produce. So it was fun meeting all these different people who could help me out and just wanted to do it for fun. And I think that's been the best part. But
Awesome. So you're able to find your own little musical community there. Did you have one like that here in Tampa, or is this kind of brand new to you?
no, it's kind of brand new. I mean, I had someone that I was kind of working with to try and figure music out. And then that kind of fizzled. So when I moved up here, I had no plans. I had no idea. I actually, it's funny because every time I would kind of have someone produce for me and that would fall through, whether they would kind of end up being a bad person or whether it just didn't work out or creatively, there was always three more that would just pop up in my life without me trying to just be like, hey, we make music. Do you want to make music? And then it just kind of spiraled. And so even at this point, I'm like, yeah, if it doesn't work out creatively with this group of people, there's always going to be something else. But it's fun because it becomes a collaborative thing. It becomes a social thing. It even just artistically, I do my own cover art, or I have photography friends that will help me with my cover art, or I'm actually I'm commissioning another friend to help me with some potential merch drop. So it's fun because then I get to just hire all of my friends who are also really, really talented, and we all just get to, collaborate together on things.
That's always the best. It's like work, but they're all your friends too. So it's fun. That's got to be inspiring and motivating, to have your community of friends helping you out.
Yeah. And then there's less judgment around it too. You're like, let's just half the time we're like, let's just try something kind of funny, kind of shitty, kind of whatever. And then we're goofing off. And then we have this really cool thing at the end that we're like, oh, we kind of did something there. We weren't trying that hard, or we put a pin in something that's frustrating us and we make something else. It's super fun. It's very relaxed. I don't have a label breathing down my neck being like, you need to get this out now, or I can leak whatever I want. I don't need to hold things back, or I have all of the creative freedom and all of the creative liberty, which is the best part, I think.
So tell me a little bit about when you started making music. Was it a hobby for you at the beginning, or has it always been kind of a dream career for you, like full-time career aspiration?
Oh God, yeah. As a kid, I saw Hannah Montana and I was like, that's who I want to be. But growing up, I did not hone in on it because I grew up in a religion that was very strict and was not, I could have never been a touring musician. And so I'm very all in or all out. And so I was like, well, if I can't do what I would want to do with it, why would I even like attempt? So I did not even pick up a guitar until I moved here like 3 years ago. And I was like, look, if anything, I just want to write songs to get through my emotions. I learned that writing songs was probably the best therapy for me. So I picked up a guitar, started learning all my favorite songs. Will be a fine line. Will be a fine line. Will be a fine line. Realized the patterns of just how those songs were written, and I just started writing on my own. And that's when I started meeting like other musicians, and they would be like, we should produce this, like we should do this. But so it's been like I'm not the best guitar player. I don't know music theory. I don't know a lot about music. That my friends will be like, "What key is this in?" I'll be like, "Why are you asking me that?" Like, I don't know. I go off vibes. Everything is very instinctual, but I've always been super into music. Music was always important in my household. Both my parents love music, even if they're not musicians themselves. I always had to karaoke my whole life. My mom and my grandpa are very big into karaoke parties. So I've been singing my whole life. I would start bands in third grade, but like I didn't even have an instrument. Like I would just get everyone involved. And so it's always just been like in the back of my mind. I always wanted to perform. I loved being the center of attention. I loved putting on a show for people as a kid. And so now it's just translated into this, and it's been really fun.
That must be so fulfilling to you then.
Yeah.
I know that you, like you said earlier, you do a lot of photography as well. Your self-portrait photography is incredible. I don't know how anybody does that themselves. Do you have any other hobbies besides music and photography that you were into?
Yeah, so I used to draw a lot. Like I loved portraits, very, very detailed portraits. I got into digital art probably high school, right after high school. So for a while that was my big outlet. Was I've always been very creative. I've always been like work with my hands. I've recently gotten into like there's a lampshade back here. I've been making Victorian lampshades. Um, I'm making myself a clay ashtray right now. I'm very creative. I have to keep my hands busy in order to survive. So I kind of just I love to DIY. I love to craft. I love to paint. I love to draw. Um, just make things. I would love to get into sewing, but that my brain sometimes I'm like it overwhelms me. But yeah, I'm always looking for a new creative hobby too, and guitar was kind of that. I was like, let me just pick this up, it'll keep my hands busy, and I would play for 5 hours a night, until I could like suddenly start playing. I think the first song I ever learned was Fine Line by Harry Styles too. And that was just like such a beautiful one, and when I realized how simple it was, like it kind of blew my mind. And so it was one of those things too. But yeah, no, I have tons of creative hobbies. Like if I'm not creating, I'm in a slump pretty much.
I'm gonna need to commission some Victorian lampshades from
Oh,
you.
they're so fun. And I just go find fabric and then trim, and you don't even like you sew it on by hand, but you don't even have to be, if you're messy, you just cover it with trim. And I just hot glue the trim on. But I want to start making like seasonal ones so that for like holidays and stuff I can just switch out my lampshades as I see fit. So it'll be really fun.
That is so fun.
I could definitely make you one. I love making them. Like half the time I'm like, I have too many for myself. I can't keep making these. So I need people to like want them. Please take them.
I want them. I want all of them. Do you ever or have you ever done any live performances with any of your recent stuff?
No, so that's eventually a goal. I had a couple opportunities presented to me, but I had I think maybe two songs out at the time, and to try and get a whole band together, or even just a couple of my friends to try to play in a band, was a little bit overwhelming. But I think once I have somewhat of a solid portfolio of music on Spotify or things that I think I could play live, that's definitely on the list of things that I would love to do. And start small in Chicago, probably just start playing there. But I've had a couple opportunities come up, and I'm like, when the time is right, I'll have another one. So
I'm gonna need you to come back to Tampa when you start doing that. I'll be.
yeah.
So you promote a lot of your music on TikTok. Are there specific techniques that you find the most success in when posting?
So it's really annoying, but just consistency. I noticed that my music, my plays, my monthly listeners, if I was consistently posting 2 to 3 times a day promoting, it was working. The second I dropped off and stopped, it just kind of dies again. So TikTok is very much, you have to play with the algorithm, you have to learn. And I never just want my social media to be just me promoting music, throwing things. Like, I'm not here to just make people listen to my music. So I very much from the beginning was like, I want to make my TikTok part of my personality, but also have a platform that if I want to promote music, I can without it feeling inauthentic. So like if you go look right now, like there's barely any music content for the most part that I've posted recently, because I've just been waiting until this next song is kind of like done before I start posting it. But then I'll go back through phases where I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. But yeah, I think it's hard too, because as a creative person, when you're not in the mood to do it, it's really hard to just make things interesting. But I think if anyone wants to start posting on TikTok, it is kind of quantity over quality, but just making sure that you do have that quality in there too.
That's helpful. I'll put so much effort into one video and then it gets like 3 likes. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
And I have had videos that are the dumbest thing. I've had Sabrina Carpenter repost me.
What? What videos? I might include that if you can send that to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It was when Espresso came out, and I was big fan of it, and so I just posted a stupid video of me just like different scenes of me listening to it, like doing laundry, doing my makeup, and it just blew up out of nowhere. I think it was really the first video of mine that blew up. I think it has a little over 1 million views at this point. And it was blowing up so much that she ended up seeing it, reposted it, and then it just more. Think about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I guess so. So you can sleep, baby. I know that's me espresso. Then like the amount of people that were commenting on it, and then from that video, people were asking about my hair, and then from that, I was like telling everyone it's this brand, it's this brand, it's this brand. So then that brand ended up sponsoring me, and now I'm sponsored by my hair dye brand that I've been using them for years. Like this same combo of hair color, like I've used for years. I've advocated for them. So now I get I get a commission, and I'm like, who would have thought? Like just yeah, dumb video. And that's the thing on TikTok. It's I think the more effort you put in and the more you're trying to get people's attention, like they can see through that. So I think being the most authentic version of you, which sounds like being the most authentic, but it really does make a difference. I think and you have to find your niche. Like when I post about my hair, it gets people's attention for some reason. So I'm like, okay, cool, we'll lean into it because people are gonna ask anyway.
Your hair is definitely a staple. Do you feel, I did not know that you were sponsored by your hair brand. That's super cool. So do you feel like now you can never change your hair color? Because that's like what people know.
There is, I go back and forth. Like I think every 6 months I get the urge to just, my hair is like dark brown, and I do it myself, so the upkeep is cheaper than most people would have to do. And my mom's a hairdresser, so I learned how to bleach very, very young, and I just get someone to help me. So it's low maintenance in that aspect, but there are times that I'm like, I just would like to wash my hair with hot water and go swimming as much as I want and not have to worry about it fading or having to redo it, or even just it is damaged. It's bleached. So there is damage. So I teeter-totter on dyeing it, and then I'm like, but it is my brand. I have created a brand. Like even my song Sink Into the Blue, well, that's still me because it's people my whole life have said I had siren energy or mermaid energy, or even before I had colored hair. But I'm like, okay, I really just branded myself with this now. And I'm like, but I love it. I don't know who I am without it at this point. I think it'll be a fun test when that day comes. But for now, I'm blue, indigo-ish, purple, whatever people want to call it.
You have a song in the making about a stalker. Actually, you are the stalker. It definitely gives me Joe Goldberg vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know a little bit about the songwriting process for that and what was the real inspiration for that song.
Okay, so this one's actually a little bit layered. So this song I've had written for almost 3 years now. Half the songs I write are based on emotional experiences I'm trying to just get through, and I never know in the moment if a song I'm writing is actually going to turn into something that I end up recording and showing everyone, or if this is just staying locked in a vault forever. So this one was kind of a mixed bag. This one was, I wanted to kind of creatively write about a scenario that I was going through with a man, of course, where I was like, he is so lucky that I am not crazy. You know, I'm like, because imagine, I was like, what would I do if I were in this scenario and I was not sane? And so that was part of it. And then I actually did one of my exes ended up becoming a like legitimate stalker, and we had to get like restraining order situation. So part of the song was kind of like, let me work through that, like, and then I have the experience of like the other side of what that feels like, and then the other was like frustration with this new person who I was just like, I want to get it out and be dramatic as possible, but I don't want to be crazy, but like what if I was? So that's kind of, it's like, it's a creative writing project in a way, and it just kind of pulls from like real life experiences in ways. So I actually had all the lyrics kind of written first. I had a little bit of one of the melodies, and I always wanted to finish writing it, but I didn't have the guitar, just was never hitting for me. So I ended up having a friend who was a musician helped me with a huge like piano ballad version of it, and it really just kind of came together, and she helped me write. Her name is Kate Stevenson. She's an incredible singer-songwriter. She helped me write a lot of the melody for it, and then we took that version and made it into now what this like grungy kind of I would say, like, we kind of were inspired by Poppy. We were also inspired by King Mala, so there was a lot of that. It just has a journey, and I actually eventually want to post all of the different versions that we've created of it, because it's been a long time coming. But no, it was just kind of like a fun creative writing project that I was like, I have some experience in this, but not stalking, but being the stalky. Like,
I am so impatient. I literally, when you sent me the first version, I went back to that so many times because it's not on Spotify yet. It's not on anything. So I had to keep going back and playing it in my car when I wanted to listen to it. I cannot wait for you to release that. It is an amazing song, and I know it's going to do great.
I actually just sent what I hope are the final like production notes today. And they're tiny little revisions. So once I get that back and we're good to mix and master, like, I'll have the final version, and then it's kind of up to me about, do I want to do a music video? Do I just want to release it and then do a music video later? Do I want to do the merch? Like, it's just planning kind of all the other things around the song itself. But once it's done, it's going to feel so good, because again, almost 3 years in the making, and I'm being a perfectionist about it, as I should be. My stepsister, this is her ultimate like song. She's heard every song I've ever written, even the ones I don't show other people, and she's just like, no, this is your best one. So fingers crossed it'll be done soon, though.
I know it's despicable, but I already followed you home, and I know I'm responsible if you go missing. I just wanted you alone, but you leading me on. What else was I to do? I want your body, I want your bones, I want you. I'll try lightly to watch you breathe. You look so pretty when you sleep. All I want is to keep you here with me. It's cute that you think I'd let you leave. Do you know what you're missing? Darling, you make me so impatient. You know I don't like waiting. Stop playing hard to get. Won't stop until one of us is dead. One of us is dead. One of us is dead. Darling, you make me so impatient. You know I don't like waiting. Stop playing hard to get. Won't stop until one of us is dead.
I'm going to say a line as if I'm you, and you're just going to finish my sentence, okay?
Okay.
My go-to sad girl anthem is...
Ooh. I'm gonna go Fine Line by Harry Styles. Let's go with the classic. It's the first guitar I ever learned. Like, that one just pulls me into a place where I'm like, let me go cry.
I'm the same way. If music wasn't my passion, it would be...
Women's rights. It is my passion. Now, if we're going creatively though, I think I'd probably go back to like portraits again, and like digital art and drawing. Yeah.
I write my best music when I'm feeling
sad. My first instinct when I am sad is to pick up my guitar and just, even if it's not good, like it's become a crutch. Or angry. Sad or angry. Negative emotions for sure. I actually need to work on writing when I'm happy.
Honestly, I hear that a lot. I hear that from a lot of people, and I'm not musical, but I do like to write, and I really only pick up my pen when I'm sad or angry too. So I totally get it.
Because it's not so that other people will hear it. It's such a, I want to work through this thing. And usually when I want to work through something, it's something negative. So, and when I'm happy, I'm like, no, things are great. Like, why would I? I started writing something kind of cute recently. I just need to finish it. But it's also like I hadn't had anything work out romantically in a very long time. And so now I kind of maybe have something. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should just foster those feelings while I have them. We'll see.
The most toxic thing I've done is.
Ooh, toxic thing I've done. Wow.
I'm really exposing you here.
I know. No, I'm like trying to think. I'm like way too aware of everyone else's feelings at all times. I don't know if there's like a specific scenario, but I can get very petty because I'm non-confrontational. And so I think if someone kind of pisses me off, I just go, okay, no, I'm done.
Are you good at like ghosting people who do you wrong? Like, can you just fall off the face of the earth? I can't. Admittedly, I can't.
I've gotten better at it. I've gotten less tolerance for bullshit, but that kind of goes into another aspect of like, well, now I'm just not even gonna have a conversation with you about it because I'm just like, all right, there's no point. Like, it's just, but that's not okay in the end of the day. I think if anything, I'm more of a retaliation person than like, let me do this first. It's like I put my ex in jail, but I don't feel like that was toxic. I think he was toxic.
I don't even need to know
Stalker
what
one.
on your side. On your side.
I'm open about it.
Still in jail?
No, he was only there for like a night.
That is everything that I had for you. I really, really, really appreciate you doing this with me. You gave me a lot of really cool answers, and I'm super excited for this to come out.
I'm so excited. I'm like, I really appreciate this. This was fun.
Well, thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you again to everyone who has stuck around and watched another episode of Joce Curious. I am so happy that I had the opportunity to interview Lex. She is an incredible artist and a good friend of mine. As I said at the beginning of this video, I have linked Lex's music in the description below, so please check that out. I did want to mention that all proceeds that she makes from the song Sink Into the Blue is being donated to Planned Parenthood, so it's really important that you guys go listen and support. I'm really happy with how this interview turned out. She was really adorable, and the answers that she gave me were really insightful. I hope you guys felt the same. On Friday, I have another interview coming out with a very special guest. Please be on the lookout for that, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have always wanted to say that. I'll see you guys on Friday. Once again, I'm Joce Curious.